We talked a lot, these last few days about our energy and playing hard from the tip. So one of our game goals was to start the game strong, and I'm really pleased, how we were able to come out. I think our next step is being able to sustain that for 40 minutes. I thought once tonight I got into the game, I thought her rhythm really impacted them, and we started turning the ball over, and obviously you saw the score at halftime. But love the response, out of the locker room. We talked about going inside and evaluating, the possessions. I thought we did a great job of responding to that in the second half. And can't say enough about these three. And obviously the consistency with Kyla and Taylor. This is the second game for Bree where I thought she's had just very big, impactful minutes for us that we need to continue to be able to sustain and have that energy and that punch off the bench. So again, I thought our crowd, I can't thank them enough for our fans of coming out, third straight weekend at home with these marquee matchups, and we hope as we then come down the stretch that they'll continue to be the best fans in the country.
Questions? Brenda, you mentioned you're big and post play. It seems like the run in late in the third quarter coincided with Shakira and Brianna coming alive. What was the difference there? Why was that so effective for you just going to that post?
Yeah, well, we talked about it at halftime, and felt like that was where our advantage was. They were playing four guards with one post, and even when they went to two posts, they couldn't match the talent of the post that we have. And I love seeing that kind of chemistry with Shakira and Bree. I mean, that pass that Shakira had to Bree and vice versa, I thought they were terrific together. So keep finding some of those great matchups.
Coach Frese, you talked about early in the season that Austin needed time to acclimate to Big Ten play. Coming into today, how did you feel her acclimating so far and her performance today?
Yeah, I love her response. When you talk about, you always want to see that when you get knocked down in her last game and not playing up to her level. For Shakira, it's confidence. She knew one of the post players for Penn State, so she was already confident and in that mindset. So she needs to take that into every game, with that mentality, because when she's in that type of framework, I mean, nobody can stop her. And she was very aggressive today.
For Kyla and Brianna, you veterans on this team, you've seen the Big Ten before. How do you feel the Big Ten so far this year compares to past years?
I think the Big Ten has grown a lot. We've seen a lot of teams winning games, a lot of teams losing games that we don't really see getting better. And I just think that everybody came to play. Every team is trying to get to the Big Ten championship, and that's great. A lot of competition is there for us, and it just helps us to get better.
Yeah, just going off of what Bree said, it's really competitive, which is great that every night that we're challenged and that we can't take any night off. So I like the fact that it's starting to level out and everybody's giving their best every night.
Kyla, obviously last game was a tough one for you guys in Michigan State. As one of the leaders of the team, one of the older teams, how did you respond to that game, and how do you feel like the team responded to that?
Well, following the loss, Coach challenged us the next day in film to have more energy, the leaders and veterans be more vocal, lead the team. So I feel like we all took a page or we learned something from that day, and we executed it in practice. We had a great practice yesterday. We had a lot of energy. We were competitive. We were dominating our scout team, and I think it just carried over today. And we had some lulls, but we were able to get out of it and not go back to our bad habits. So I feel like we're just getting better every single day.
With that loss in Michigan State, you guys also had the tough game against these guys. But start honestly, how does it feel to get the win over them? And do you see improvement there from you guys?
Definitely see improvement. It was just a good lesson to learn that once we focus and lock in, we can do really good things. So it's just something we have to be consistent with.
Bree, as Coach said, you've had a great couple of games. Is there anything you've done differently, or what do you kind of attribute your spark to?
My teammates just giving me confidence every day. Coming to practice, giving me the ball, feeding me inside like they did today, and the few games that I've had. And I just owe it all to them. Like, they give me confidence, and they talk to me every day, and they're trying to send me out the right way, and I just have to go on.
Brenda, you mentioned that Paige's rhythm came through you guys off a little bit in the second quarter. Can you elaborate on how different it is with her on the floor running the offense there?
Yeah, she's so talented. Off the bounce, in transition. You saw even at times, between Blair and Kyla defensively on her, she just makes tough plays, and you have to bring so much attention to her defensively that allows other players, I thought, to get offensive rebounds, to put backs, to get some duck-ins inside. But I thought she did a tremendous job being phenomenal energy and spark coming off the bench.
Taylor, Coach mentioned not being able to play a full 40-minute game sometimes. I guess, what do you think that is, and then what do you need to do to be able to do that?
I think you can kind of see the Michigan State game. We were kind of in and out of focus. I think Coach B challenged us a lot, like Kyle said in film the next day, to stay locked in and keep the energy high. So when the energy's high, it hides some of the mistakes, and you're able to build off of that. And I think we did that today. Obviously we struggled a little bit in the second quarter, but we came out strong in the first quarter and then covered it up in the third and fourth.
Taylor, you have a fair amount of turnovers again in the first half. What did the team do to overcome that and push forward?
Just picking me back up. They were being pretty aggressive on the ball, and with all of our guards, they were getting a lot of tips and stuff. So just protecting the ball and setting good back screens.
Kyle, I think there was one point in the third quarter where Bree had a fast break, she missed, and you missed the putback, but you embraced her after that and had a huge smile on your face. Why were you? It looked like you were happy maybe she got the fast break or got the chance.
Definitely. I'm happy with all my teammates' success, so I was great. I was glad that she was sprinting the floor and she hustled and she had the play, but she didn't make it, but it was great effort and energy, and that really hyped up our team, and she knocked down her free throw. So it was a great play, even though she didn't finish, but she had that confidence to sprint, and she had that wide open layup. She's going to make it next time, so we're good.
How nice is it for you to see the team's lone senior obviously have these two great games back to back?
What Bree probably should know, or she knows, is that she energizes our team, and when she's doing good, we're all doing good. We're following her footsteps, so it's great to see her, dominating, because we know she can do that, and we've seen it in practice, and everybody's starting to see it now. So I'm just glad that she's starting to, be herself and playing her game, and everybody's starting to notice how good she really is.
Brenda, we had Shakira had a double-double. I know you talked about her a little bit earlier, but it was in certain points kind of a tough fight for her with the matchup underneath Bebo. Do you see that? I guess I'm asking, what do you think her ceiling actually can be if a quiet night can still end in 13-10 for a freshman in the Big Ten?
Yeah, the sky's the limit for her. You're just seeing her barely scratch the surface offensively. Obviously her defense, her rebounding, her blocks, the way she's able to give us that presence inside. But, her offense and what her offseason is going to look like, having a year under her belt with the physicality of the post play that goes on inside. So it's exciting to think about what lies ahead for her and for us.
Coach, several times this year, you guys have needed a really big late game run, and you've gotten it. I guess, what do you think that has been feeling teams out, or why does it often come late third, early fourth quarter where you pull away?
If I knew that question, we would stop it, right? I think obviously I think a big piece right now is still the consistency factor, and we won 3 out of 4 quarters today, and we haven't put very many games that I can think of 40-minute games of not saying perfection, right, but just not having mentality, a mentality where you lock out and you have some turnovers back to back or some breakdowns defensively. So that's the big picture of where we're trying to get to, but we're not quite there yet.